twisted mesenteric stent after fenestrated fever. This was a 67 years old gentleman, hypertensive, smoker, who presented with this aneurysm. We couldn't find a good healthy neck infrarenal, so we decided to plan him for a fenestrated EVAR case. It went first, everything as usual, cannulation. We planned for a fenestrated EVAR with 3 fenestrations and a scallop for the celiac trunk. So we cannulated the 3 vessels. Everything was going well. And then starting to put the Advanta V12 in the both renals and the SMA. That's the right renal now, cannulating the right renal, inflating the Advanta V12 in the right renal, and taking angiography to check everything is okay. And that's Advanta V12 in the SMA. And that was the completion angiogram. At the end of the case, it seems that everything looks well. The SMA is opacifying well. Both renals are opacifying well. And then 3 hours later, we took the patient again to the cath lab because he started to complain of abdominal pain and mild rigidity. We suspected mesenteric ischemia, so we took him again to the cath lab and we took these shots. It reveals that the SMA stent is occluded, and as you can see in the static picture on the right side at the red arrow, I hope that this seems good. It's showing well on the screen. The stent is, the tip of the stent inside the aortic endograft is shifted upwards, is looking upwards, as if it is the stent was bent in a V-shape configuration. So we tried to cannulate this SMA stent from above using this Omni catheter. We thought that this curve of the Omni catheter would help us to cannulate the bent upwards, or the upward bend of the stent inside the aorta. Luckily, we passed with a 014 wire at the beginning. 014 wire was able to pass, the Omni catheter was able to cannulate the ostium of the bent stent, and an 014 wire was able to pass down to the superior mesenteric artery. And then we put another body wire, so we had 2 wires, a V18 wire control to maintain stability, 2 wires inside, going inside the SMA stent. And then after that, we used, we were not able to introduce an ordinary balloon. So first we introduced a coronary 4 millimeter balloon, 4 millimeter coronary balloon first over the 014 wire. And we just to start to dilate a little bit the ostium of this stent. After this coronary balloon over the 014 wire, we tried to cannulate the stent. We tried to go inside the stent with the sheath, but this was not possible. So we went into the stent. Again, the stent was very tight. It couldn't introduce the sheath inside. So we went with a glide cath. We exchanged the 014 wire for a Rosen wire. And then over the Rosen wire, we tried again to pass the sheath. We could not pass the sheath again inside the bent stent. So we used an 8 millimeter balloon to dilate, to open the way inside this stent. And we made this trick of sliding the sheath inside while deflating the balloon. We were able to get the sheath finally inside the bent stent while deflating the 8 millimeter balloon. And after we went in with the sheath, we deployed another Advanta V12 7 by 22 inside it, and just sorry, I'm me. So well, this was the final angiogram. It shows that I'm not sure, I don't know, it was working. It just took 2 runs and then it stopped. So this is the final angiogram. It showed the luckily, the SMA and both renals are pacifying well. And luckily, we got out of it. And this was done in the International Medical Center, which is one of the elite medical facilities in Cairo. And this is myself and my colleague, Dr. Ahmed Farouk Mira. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Sherif. Nice.